Hello, this is Chuck Carnevale, co-founder of FastGraphs. It is my pleasure to present demo number 1, introducing FastGraphs, a stock research tool with a focus on fundamentals. FAST is an acronym for Fundamentals Analyzer Software Tool, which is offered to provide investors an efficient and powerful investing tool to think with. With FastGraphs, the user can create a picture of essential fundamentals at a glance in an instant on any of more than 20,000 available symbols for U.S. and Canadian stock exchanges. What FastGraphs can accomplish in split seconds would take the same investors hours of tedious research and effort. Thanks to FastGraphs, the subscriber can watch the fundamentals, primarily earnings and/or cash flows per share of any stock they own or are interested in owning, come to life because FastGraphs focuses on fundamentals first. Here we are showing Ross Stores with a 15-year adjusted operating earnings only plotted, and next we add monthly closing stock prices, which is the black line on the graph. With the two lines correlated, the user can make smarter and better informed decisions regarding when to buy, when to sell, or when to hold a given company. The FastGraphs research tool was created to help investors exploit the undeniable functional relationship and strong correlation between earnings and stock price over time. As the father of modern security analysis, Ben Graham so aptly put it, in the short run, the stock market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it's a weighing machine. In other words, short-term price volatility is caused by voting dollars. However, in the long run, the weight or operating results of earnings and/or cash flows, the orange line, substantiates the value of the company relative to its operating or business results. The FastGraphs research tool provides graphic evidence in pictorial form that illustrates Ben Graham's famous investing lessons. The FastGraph charting tool correlates stock price, the black line, with earnings and/or cash flow if chosen, thereby providing a clear depiction of true worth valuation, or as some would like to refer to it as intrinsic value. With this next example, I'm presenting a complete FastGraphs on Ross Stores utilizing the default metric, adjusted operating earnings. However, there are 4 additional earnings metrics and 2 cash flow metrics, operating cash flow and free cash flow, available to basic subscribers. Premium subscribers also have the option to draw intrinsic value correlations with either EBITDA and EBIT per share, as well as gross cash flow. There are 2 primary components of the FastGraph research tool. The first is the set of historical graphs, followed by forecasting calculators. At the push of a button, the historical FastGraph draws an earnings and/or cash flow and a price correlated graph for a period of time as short as 3 years, all the way out to as long as 20 years. Here I am drawing a 15 calendar year graph on United Technology. Note there are 3 years of future estimates included. In addition to graphing price and earnings and/or cash flow, the FastGraph automatically provides a depiction of dividends, if any, after they've been paid out of earnings, which is the dark green shaded area, and additionally by the white line, which plots dividends per share. Note that the white line provides 2 functions. First, it graphically depicts the company's dividend payout ratio, which is all of the earnings that are below the white line. Second, it allows you to instantly determine whether dividends have risen or fallen in every given year. This is important because when dividends are stacked on top of earnings, which is the light green shaded area, it can provide the illusion that a dividend has been cut by the company, even though it has actually grown. This graph on Caterpillar vividly illustrates these points. The white line plotting dividends shows that the dividends were not cut even when earnings fell during the Great Recession. The final line on a basic FastGraphs is the dark blue historical normal PE ratio measurement. FastGraphs automatically calculates the PE ratio that the market has most commonly applied to a given stock over any time frame that is graphed. This adds a second reference evaluation to the FastGraphs. Note that the subscriber can add or delete any of these metrics by simply clicking the associated words in the long orange rectangular legend at the bottom of the graph. Additionally, the historical FastGraphs has a built-in scrolling feature at the bottom of the graph that empowers subscribers to review past historical time frames in more detail. This is especially useful for fast-growing stocks like Ross Stores, where the scale at the beginning of the graph is too small to see the actual detail. By scrolling back to any time frame, you can see growth in PE valuations that existed at that time frame. It's important to state here that fast graphs were not designed or designated to dictate fair value. Instead, they were designed to reveal it. In other words, it's up to the user to decide whether or not the normal PE ratio or the earnings line, orange earnings justified valuation reference line in the graph is the right one to base valuation decisions on. In the case of raw stores, they're both the same line. The essence of fast graphs is that they are a tool to think. For example, when looking at Apple Computer since 2011, notice that the market has had a penchant for valuing this stock around a 14 PE ratio. In this example, the orange valuation reference line simply gives you the information that earnings have grown by 20% per year, but the blue normal PE ratio line gives you a much better valuation perspective, at least relative to how the market has historically capitalized Apple since 2011. For premium subscribers only, other historical fast graphs include a historical PE and interest rate graph and a plotting of year-end PE ratios for each year graph. Another important fundamental measurement automatically provided to premium subscribers is the annual price and price to sales graph. Both of these graphs are also dynamic, where the subscriber can run their mouse along either line where pop-ups will provide essential data items. Notice that they are color-coded. When you're pointing to the sales, you see sales. When you're pointing to the blue line in the price-to-sales graph, you're seeing price. Another important piece of vital historical information provided by fast graphs are the associated performance results for whatever time frame was being measured. This includes a dividend cash flow table if the company pays dividends, and a calculated closing total annualized rate of return, which is compared to the S&P 500 for the same time frame. Additional return calculation functionality is available through the built-in return calculator in the historical earnings and/or cash flow graphs. First, simply double-click anywhere on the black price line. Here I'm picking high valuation, and a pop-up will appear. Note that the pop-up can be moved by simply dragging it away with your mouse, leaving the red dot. Then you can simply point to any forward point on the graph, and it will calculate the performance from between those 2 points. This allows you to really evaluate the importance of valuation. Here, high valuation generated a very low rate of return. However, if I chose a period of low valuation, as we had at the bottom of the recession to current time, you see a period of much higher rate of return. Additionally, on most metrics, the historical fast graphs provides a specific estimate for the company's current fiscal year and the next fiscal year or two, depending on the company. Estimates are connotated by a capital E after the earnings, or in this case, operating cash flow number. It's important to note that the historical growth rate calculation in the fast facts includes the estimate data. However, if you scroll the estimate data out of the graph, then fast graphs will give you actual historical growth rates. In this case, it's the operating cash flow of United Technologies. Regarding looking to the future, fast graphs provides 5 different forecasting calculators. The first 2 calculators provide specific analyst estimates based on a number of analysts reporting, in this case, operating cash flow for the company. And then there's a 3 to 5 year trend line growth rate estimate. So these first 3 calculators are based on analyst estimates. The 4th calculator provides estimates based on historical growth rates. And then finally, there's a custom calculator that allows you to input your own data. You can put in your own PE ratios, your own earnings growth rates, etc. The final graph in the primary fast graph section provides what we call the 10-year earnings yield estimates table. This simply provides a mathematical comparison of the company's current and expected earnings yield compared to an equal investment in a 10-year treasury bond. This provides an additional important calculation evaluation. In addition to the historical earnings and forecasting components of the basic fast graphs research tool, is also a powerful portfolio building function for both premium and basic subscribers. Premium subscribers can produce unlimited portfolios, and they are also provided 15 preloaded portfolios where they can actually review an indice like the Dow Jones Industrial Average here, and you can set these and customize these portfolios utilizing various metrics, and then you can organize these portfolios by clicking on these various tabs, looking at estimated growth rates, current PEs, dividend yields, credit ratings, etc. But best of all, fast graphs are easy to learn and easy to use. By merely typing in a stock symbol in the ticker box and hitting go, Fast Graphs automatically and instantaneously provides all these fundamental and price-driven research items at a glance. With Fast Graphs, you can see in an instant whether the earnings and or cash flows go, stock price is sure to follow in the long run. This is the first in a series of demos that illustrate the enormous power and benefits of the Fast Graphs research tool. The next 4 demos will cover the basics of how to use the various Fast Graph components, to include demo number 2, the historical and performance graphs, demo number 3, the forecasting tools, demo number 4, the screening function, and demo number 5, how to build and manage a portfolio utilizing Fast Graphs.